My name's Eddie Denny. I'm a photographer, I'm a husband, and I'm a dad. And I just started my first batch of kombucha. Sweet tea fermented drink. We got another about 10 days to see what this bad boy tastes like. Let's take a journey on the top of my cabinets. Not that one, but that one is my first journey on making homemade kombucha. Yeah, it's been fermenting for over a week now on top. The definition of kombucha as a beverage that is fermented with sweet tea. It has, there's a word, with a culture of yeast and bacteria. Sounds disgusting. But when you actually look at a bottle of store-bought, so all that stuff on the bottom, that is your bacteria, yeast, and everything else. Or what I'm trying to actually make, in kombucha terms, is called a SCOBY. SCOBY. Up there is my first attempt on a SCOBY. So it's been fermenting for a good week. Yeah, they have a different smell to them, but the taste to me is just growing on me. I like it a lot. So we need to do another step. Another step is to feed more of the yeast and SCOBY so I can get my first batch of kombucha. And then that SCOBY that I just developed can make more batches. Sounds good to me. Let's go. This is my first attempt at making the yeast or the bacteria, and we need to have a SCOBY. So let's take a peek at what it looks like. That top layer that looks really funky, that is the form of my SCOBY. With everything I've been looking at, it is actually a nice looking SCOBY. And then this is gonna be the starter fluid down below. We're gonna add some more sweet tea all the way to the top, put the SCOBY back in, and then ferment it for another 7 days or something like that, and go from there. We're gonna get some water boiling, and then I'm gonna add my tea. Drop my tea in, and let the tea do its magic. It's been steeping for quite a while. Set those aside. For a gallon of tea, we're going to use 1 cup of sugar. That's going to be the food for that kombucha. Then while the liquid's hot, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. And once again, while it's hot, we're going to stir it in so all of that sugar will dissolve. I don't have enough liquid in here, but my container over there is actually pre-measured, so I know where my 1 gallon mark is. Slightly nervous. So that's what they talk about, this right here. That right there is the SCOBY. I won't lie, it looks awful, but that's what you need to make kombucha. It's getting dark on me. 1 cup of sugar dissolved inside. It's all dissolved. And then I have it pre-marked, and right up to the neck is actually my 1 gallon. So I have already unfiltered water right there, folks. Still gonna actually throw a temperature gauge in there because I want to know what we're looking at. So then off of the starters, I only did 1 cup. I wish it's a little more than that. But 1 cup and the SCOBY that is actually in here. So we're gonna add them. I hope. A little bit darker, a little bit lighter. That's how we know the fermentation actually took. The sugars were actually eaten into the dark tea, and then the dark tea actually turned a little bit lighter. I tasted this and it was pretty damn good. I can imagine what this is gonna be. So we're gonna put this back up. I don't use cheesecloth, use something that it still can breathe. Looks like I got my own kombucha rag. I just made that up. this will be ready for bottling. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
One eternity later.
Oh, I'm like nervous and excited and all of the above. You're a dork. I am bottling my kombucha. So, up there underneath that towel is my first kombucha batch. And over here is my setup for my first bottling. So when I bottle it, then this will be the second fermentation. The first one would be up here that we did, and now this is second. So that's been fermenting for about 20 days. And we'll just ferment this for maybe 2 or 3. And we'll have several different flavors. Yeah, excited. Excited to taste it. Excited to see if it's something better than the stuff that I'm buying. Let's get started. So I started this, wait a minute, it's been a month? I started this 9/12. Holy crap. Look at that time right there. See that time? Now look at this time. See? That is freaking crazy. Anyway, so the date, so it's almost been a month since I started when I had to grow the SCOBY and then actually did the fermentation for this first batch. But it's so bizarre to me to see that it's bubbly and to see what that looks like. It looks a little white on top, but then it's my first SCOBY, so I guess it's pretty good. Flavor number 1 is going to be Honeycrisp apples. And I'm going to put a shot or 2 or a tablespoon of ginger. This is pomegranates. We got some in, so I juiced them. 1 tablespoon. Starting with 4 of them right now. It's so funny to hear that shh and to see it bubbling. Here's my first jar. Little room. Oh, look at that. It's almost foaming up like a beer. I'm like waiting for it to bubble over. That's just bizarre. Okay, all right, we're gonna return my SCOBY to its home. I cleaned it. My hands are pretty clean. My hands are clean. And then these are 2 pomegranates and the rest are all the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 of the containers full. That is awesome. And if you look, they are about the same. I did about the same on every one of them. That's a good consistency, except this one, because I wanted to save a little juice to start my next batch with that. So process number 2 is we're gonna let these ferment. I had some wide eyes there for a second. We're gonna start this second fermentation. Fermentation, I love that word, fermentation. So just because I want to see what happens, I'm gonna leave these, and before I do something tonight, I'll open one of them up. I'll burp them. I was gonna burp, but I know that's gross. Anyway, I'll open them up, and I don't know if you heard that one. After we get to the desired carbonization, then we're gonna put them into the refrigerator, and then it'll stop, hopefully. Because if you get too much, you're gonna blow up. We don't want to blow up. So we are pretty close on tasting our first batch of kombucha. Yeah, kombucha. See, after you say it once, then it just keeps on rolling off the tongue. Kombucha, kombucha.